Are you ready to turn heads? Luxury isn't just worn, it's experienced. Introducing a Layla Cara style and new up-and-coming designer collection where exclusive shoes and bags for men and women meets your feet. How about you take a handbag and wear it in style, where each piece is personally designed by Layla Carroll herself and handcrafted from the finest material in Italy. Leather, smooth like butter, bold, timeless, distinctly you. Step into true elegance and make your mark with a Layla Cara style where confidence meets craftsmanship. Visit a Layla Cara style and experience the luxury of art that you wear.
Welcome to day 2 of week 10. Today's lesson is about techniques for setting and enforcing boundaries for a new relationship. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. What I want to do here is, first off, say, welcome to my podcasters, welcome. And then I want to say thank you for continuing, for those of you who are taking the course, thank you for continuing on your journey. This is a special course, and today is a special day because what you're going to learn is about the future. So we've already dealt with your current situation, what you've been going through in your past with your narcissistic relationships. Now we're going to talk about actually future relationships. What is it that you can do to do better than what you've done before? So from today all the way until the end of the course, which is going to be the last day of week 13, you would get the opportunity to be able to build yourself in a great way where you can make sure that none of the stuff that happened to you in your past repeats itself, okay? So if you're looking to gain new relationships, and it's not only about boyfriend, girlfriend, husband and wife, or any of those things. It's about the people in your life, period. Co-workers, your supervisors, your managers, your best friends, your friends, period. Anybody that you have a relationship with that is on a daily basis, your mom, your dad, your grandparents, all those things, and you have your cousins, siblings, this is going to be what you're going to need to be able to have healthy relationships with them. So we're going to learn some techniques for setting and enforcing boundaries for your relationships, for new relationships to come, especially romantic relationships. We're going to talk about that because that's what this course is about, romantic relationships, okay? So setting and enforcing boundaries in new relationship is critical for establishing a foundation of respect, trust, and mutual understanding. Here are several techniques to effectively set and enforce boundaries, all right? So let's talk about self-awareness. Identify your needs and limits. Reflect on what you need from a relationship. Why are you in a relationship, period? What is it that you need from that? What is this relationship is going to do for you? And what are your non-negotiable? What are those? So after leaving narcissistic marriage for me and getting into a new relationship with my current husband, my need for him was for him to allow me to be myself. That's it. Don't take away who I am by trying to recreate a whole new me. Accept me for me because I'm goofy. I know this. I have some goofy tendencies. This is what it is. But if I can't be my goofy self, then I'm in a shell. And not only I'm in a shell, you're not getting the real me. I'm not being my authentic self. Also, respect. Respect me. I'm a woman. I have feelings. I also have needs. What needs do I have? I need you to fulfill those desires sometimes, sexual desires, you know? And I would do the same for you. And respect when I don't want it. And then I will respect when you don't want it. And we will be on the same path. And those are communications that we have with each other. He knows when I want it. He knows when I don't want it. He knows when I'm like, come on now. And he knows when he's like, okay, she don't want to be bothered. Just like I know when he wants it to. And what are my non-negotiables? My non-negotiables are, don't disrespect me. Don't make me feel like I am not valuable to you. Don't do that to me. Also, don't make me feel like I gotta choose. I don't want to have to choose from you and my family members, anybody else, You are now adopted into my family by marriage, and the same goes for me. So this was how I knew my husband was for me. Even though I already knew that we was compatible in areas, but I was afraid to start over again, this is how I knew. There were certain things that he said that I knew, and of course my own parents as well. Now, for my mom and my dad, both of them agreed that this was the one for me. And for my mother to agree, I knew for a fact that he had to be, because my mother never liked any guy I ever dated. But for her to like my husband now, I was like, wow, that says a lot. And not only that, I didn't ask her for her opinion, because I don't ask my mom's opinion about anybody I date. I don't care about it, But for her to sit there and say, that's the one. He's your husband. And I was like, no, I'm not getting married again. She's like, no, that's your husband. That's who you was supposed to be with in the first place. All the other ones, you was never supposed to be with them. But this one is yours. And I was like, what? And then my dad said the same thing, was similar to the same thing. He's like, third time is a charm. I said, what do you mean? I said, nobody should be getting married 3 times. He's like, no, third time is a charm. Don't let this guy go just because you're afraid. Yes, you made mistakes, but you'll be okay. This guy loves you, and he's going to look after you. He's going to protect your heart. And that was when I knew then, but it was more to it though. When my husband said to me out of his own mouth, he said, if you ever have to choose between your nephew or me, choose your nephew. Because during this time, I was still in the custody battle with CPS, Child Protective Service. And I was like, okay, my husband already knew what was going on with my ex-husband and how my nephew came about into our lives. He already knew the story. And he just told me straight up, if you ever have to choose between me and your nephew, choose your nephew. I will be all right. And I was like, wow. When I looked at him, I said, did he just say that to me? He did not make me choose him? Oh, wow. He got to be the one. Oh, my goodness. Because at that time, I had to choose between my narcissistic husband and my nephew when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with custody with my nephew. Do I adopt him as my son? But how can I do this with this man that I don't want to have a part? I don't want him having a part of my nephew, because I knew that he would use it against me once I want to get out of the marriage, So that was part of the thing that let me know who I was going to be marrying. And then there was other things as well. I had other people who I would meet that knew my husband, my current husband, who knew him. And this one lady, matter of fact, it never left me. She walked up to me and she said, you got you a good man. And I was like, what? And she said, no, seriously, he is a good guy. And at this time, I'm thinking like, why are you not trying to get him? But she was like, girl, I like girls. I said, oh, okay. It makes sense. You don't want a man, you want a woman. Okay, I get it. But she told me that. She said, he's a good guy. If I wanted a man, he will be the one. And I say, wow. So here it is. it was something that I needed to hear. And she wasn't the only one that came to me like that. It was other people on my birthday, one of my birthdays. My husband, we wasn't married yet, but we was, just dating. And he took me out on my birthday. And the lady said to me, she just came up to me, and she knew my husband because my husband used to train her son in basketball. And she said, "You're Lemon Drop." I was like, "What?" Because my husband called me Lemon Drop. He said, "Yes." She says, "Finally, I get to meet you. He had been talking about you and raving about you all this time. So you're Lemon Drop." She said, "Man, he has been a part of our family for so many years. He trained my son since he was 9 years old. My son is now in his 30s. And I'm telling you, man, I am so honored to meet you." And I was thinking, like, why is she honored to meet me? I'm just me, And she was like, "No, he raves about you, and the way he talks about you, I know that you are somebody special." And I was thinking, like, wow, he talks about me like that to people. So what I'm trying to tell you guys here is that you have to know your self-awareness. You need to know yourself, okay? And you need to know your negotiables and your non-negotiables and things like that. So definitely understand your values. Knowing your core values help you to set boundaries that align with your beliefs and your priorities, all right? Also, clear communication. So we talked about this. So the techniques of enforcing clear communication. I'm going to go deeper into this. Be direct and honest. Clearly express your boundaries and the reasons behind them. See, you can express a boundary and people don't understand why is she telling me this. Express why. What's the reason? They need to know. Use I statements. Frame your boundaries using I statements to make them about your needs. All right. So you can say stuff like, "I need time alone to recharge." And that way people realize that, okay, I can't mess with her during this time because she's recharging. This is why she's being quiet. This is why I'm not hearing from her. This is why she's not answering her phone. This is why she's being short-winded or short with me. Okay? They need to understand. They have to understand. You have to tell them. They're not going to figure it out because when you leave room for assumption, usually people assume the wrong things. And you don't want that. And then discuss early. You want to address boundaries early in the relationship to set expectation from the start. What is it early on? So I have some people I know, they say, "I told him that I don't want no man that cheats on me." Okay. He hurt you. He knows this about you, that you don't want to be cheated on. But one thing for certain is this. If he's a cheater and it's in him, whether you said it or not to him in the beginning, he's still going to do what he wants to do because that is something that is embedded in him. Has nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing. It has everything to do with that person, that they like variety. It's what it is. Some people like to have multiple sex with different people. It's just you happen to be in a relationship with them and they said they was going to commit themselves to you, but the desires they got in them continue to overpower that. You have to come to an understanding that this person is just not for you, okay? Let them go, move on. Stop trying to fix that relationship, move on. The same way that man can move on from you if you cheated on him, do the same. Just move on. Don't try to fix it. Now, if he really, really wants to change, he'll do the work to change, all right? Has nothing to do with you. So, consistency. Reinforce boundaries. You want to be consistent, all right? Consistently uphold your boundaries to establish their importance. That's the only way people will take you serious if you don't change. Keep it the same. This is what it is. This is the way it is. And I'm not changing it. I don't like it. You're not going to keep doing it to me. So I'm not going to let you do it to me. So that means that I have to hold you with some type of consequence. Okay. And it must be serious. All right. So you want to follow thought. If a boundary is crossed, address it promptly and follow through with your stated consequences. Whatever you told them, do it. So, if you said, if you cheat on me, the relationship is over. Guess what? They go out and cheat on you, and you find out about it. End the relationship right there. Period. There's no need to negotiate. There's no need to discuss why he did it, why she did it. They did it. All right? It's over. Let it go. Now, if you choose to get back with them at a later time, let enough time pass. And I mean at least a year, so you can figure out in that year frame, do you want to work on that marriage or that relationship or whatever? And I say this because it's going to help you to figure out, do you want them? Do you really want them? And it'll help them to realize they really messed up. They made a big mistake. And they should never do that again, because you allow enough time to pass to show them that you mean business and you meant that. But if you let 2 months pass, 3 months pass, 6 months pass, and you get back with them, they're like, oh, that's all I got to do is just let a little bit of time go on. That ain't nothing. No, when they see that all 4 seasons have passed them by and you not with them anymore, they're like, oh my goodness, she was real. She was serious. That's a real one there. Oh my goodness, if I want to be with her, I got to get it together. I got to fix myself. It also gives them the time to get the work that they need done. Now, in that year time period, they haven't done anything to work on themselves, they're going to cheat on you again because they haven't done the work. So that's something on them that you got to also evaluate during that time period. And I'm not talking about that you should just cold turkey stop talking to them. What I'm saying is, don't give up the goods anymore. Keep that cookie to yourself. They don't need their hands in the cookie jar no more. They messed that up. So don't let them have it. That's what I'm talking about. They have to earn it. You did what you did. You got to earn this privilege all over again. All right? And then there's mutual respect. Respect their boundaries. Show respect for your partner's boundary to foster a reciprocal dynamic. You want to make sure that they understand that it's not all about you, that you're not selfish. You just letting them know that you do have boundaries that they can't cross. And then you understand they have them too, and you respect theirs as well. So encourage open dialogue. Talk to each other. Create a safe place and a safe space for your partner to be able to express their boundaries and concerns with you. You have to be able to do that. My husband and I, we talk a lot. We always have communication. That's one of the biggest things that I can say that I have with my husband in the marriage. We always communicating. When I fly, I don't want him to worry about me because I know how my husband is. He can worry. And I don't want him to do that. So what I do, I tell him, we just landed. I got an hour and a half or 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours just to sit at the airport and do nothing. Now, if I'm in Houston, I can come home or whatever. Now, if it's 4 hours or more, they give us a hotel. And then, of course, we go back to the hotel. But if it's under 4 hours, we pretty much sitting around the airport or whatever. And we do whatever we want at that time. So, yes, we get open time to do what we want. But most of the time, what I do is go find something to eat, go somewhere, and I start working on my other materials that I have. And I'll tell my husband, hey, this is what's going on. This is what we have going on. I will let him know. I will enforce him because when I'm in the air, he can't call me. He can text. We can text each other on the plane. That's a good thing about being on, you can text while you're in the air. But I don't always get the opportunity to do that because I'm working. So I will let him know, hey, I'm working. I'm not going to text you either. So I'm just letting you know that we're about to take off. And he'll know I'm taking off. And I tell him I'm on this flight number, going to this city, leaving from this city, and we land at this time. If I don't, I'm either delayed or whatever the case may be. I give him the information so he don't worry. It helps him to keep his mind clear. That's communication. Let you know. Let him know. Let him know. You let her know. Whatever the case may be. Talk. Don't keep it all to yourself and be like, well, I'm grown. I ain't got to tell you nothing. No. Talk. Okay? Don't keep it all to yourself. Be very open about what's going on with you. And then they can do the same thing. You also want to negotiate. All right? Engage in discussions to find mutual acceptance. Accept anything that's acceptable for you. And you want to resolve conflicts. We'll talk about conflicts at another time. I want to talk about resolution and conflicts when y'all are not agreeing with each other. We'll talk about that at another time. But you definitely want to talk about anything that is mutual to the both of you. And anything that's acceptable to solutions when conflicts arise, all right? And then we have non-verbal cues. Let's talk about body language. So most people don't realize that your body language is really loud. It speaks louder than the word that comes out of your mouth. How do I know? Because I am very good with body language. I can tell when a person is comfortable and when they're uncomfortable, when they're about to try something, when they're not. I can tell when someone's flirting with me easily because I used to be a very flirtatious girl. And when I used to go out to the club back then when I was single and all that, if I wanted somebody's attention, I did not speak words. I spoke it with my eyes. My eyes was my volume in my voice. I would look at them in a certain way, and I mean look at them in a certain way, and they knew automatically, oh, she is interested. Yes, I am. So come on over here. I don't have to tell you to come over here. My eyes are telling you to come over here. And then they would show up and they were like, hey, and they look like, hey, and I'm like, yeah, I'm talking this and I'm telling you this because body language is very powerful, So use confident body language to enforce verbal boundaries.
We'll be back after a quick break.
If you haven't already, check out my luxury shoe and bag collection, a Layla Cara style. Each piece is personally designed by me and handcrafted from genuine Italian leather. Whether you're dressing up or keeping it casual, these pieces were made to help you walk with confidence. Because real style starts from how you feel. Go to alaylacarolstyle.com and experience these bold, timeless, and completely all you. Check it out. You might find something you like.
How do you do that? I will explain to you that. So basically, personal space. Respect each other's needs for physical and emotional space. Don't be all up on people if they don't want you touching them. Stop touchy. If you a touchy-feely person, pay attention to a person's response because that's going to tell you if they want to be touched or not. Personally, I don't like being touched. Don't touch me. If I did not give you the invitation and invited you into my space like that, you need to back up. If I can smell your breath, you're too close. And I have had people do this. Even on the plane, they're trying to talk to me and the engine is so loud that they do lean in, but I can smell their breath, so I push back. And that's a natural reaction for me because I don't want to smell your carbon dioxide coming out of your mouth. I don't want to smell that. You stop me from breathing oxygen, okay? So I back up. That's why one reason why I used to love those face masks when COVID was here. I don't have to smell all that. But I notice vice versa, especially if I'm eating something, you can smell mine. So come on now, back up. So you have to be real cautious about how close you are to people. And if they don't want you that close, back up. All right? Keep your hands to yourself. And then establishing consequences. Let's talk about that. Define consequences. Clearly outline the consequences about a boundary violation. What is it that's going to happen to them when they keep crossing your boundaries? You want to implement these consequences. So consistently enforce the consequences of boundaries that are being crossed. And you want to demonstrate how important they are to you. I don't know what the consequences are going to be that you choose. You have to be the one to make up that decision. I'm not going to tell you what to do in that area. You know what to do. Okay? So whatever you feel like the consequences need to be of them, don't break people's fingers because they touch you. Unless they are being aggressive and you have told them several times, don't touch me. Then you can say, hey, you touch me again, I'm going to break your fingers. And then they might be like, oh, she's playing, and they touch you and you grab their finger and break that mug. You told them. They shouldn't touch you. So that's different. But what I'm trying to say is that I can't tell you what to say in that area. You're going to have to figure that part out. So do what you got to do with that, all right? And then you want to seek support, therapy and counseling, and even life coach. You want to consider individuals or couple my bad, try to take it out. Okay. Or couple therapy. If you want to know what's going on with me, I get tongue-tied when I get excited and I talk a little too much. I start twisting my words, so I have to slow it down. So that's what's going on at the moment. So bear with me and be patient with me, all right? So anyways, couple therapy. It helps. It definitely helps. It helps to navigate boundary setting and reinforcement. So that way people can understand and your partner will understand that, hey, she take this stuff seriously, or he take this stuff seriously. Wow, I didn't know how serious this was until we went to couple therapy. All right. So you want to have a supportive friends and family that you can lean on and that has intelligent advice. Some family members and friends, they advice is foolish. So be careful whose advice you're taking, all right? Practice self-care. Prioritize self-care. I'm going to talk about that over and over again because it is so important. Make time for activities that nurtures your well-being. Please do that. It's for you. You need it. So set time for yourself. Ensure you have personal time and space, even when you are in a relationship. You need it. Like, for instance, my husband, he goes to the gym. That's his personal time. Every blue moon, I would go to the gym with him. He would ask me to come with him. And most of the time, I know that he is using that time to let out his whatever that's bothering him. He uses it to not only for his therapy and his own personal care, self-care, he also uses his gym time to come up with new techniques and stuff to teach other people. Because like I said, my husband is a player development coach, and he coaches NBA players as well as college students and high school students who want to get into a college. He have helped a lot of high school students get scholarships for basketball and everything. So, and then of course he do help little children, but most of the time it's not the little kids that he's really on. He does a lot with our son and everything. So, okay, let's keep going. I'm not talking about him in this area. I'm just letting you know that personal space is very important, okay? Everyone needs it for their own personal self and their own personal healing. So practice. Here's some practical examples for setting boundaries. I want to give you some examples that you can use. Let's talk about time boundaries. Give me a second. I want to sip some wine. All right. So let's talk about time boundaries. This is how you can start being assertive with your time and with your emotions, your physical boundaries, your social boundaries, and digital boundaries. I want to give you some examples that you can try to use and incorporate it into your everyday situation. with the person you're with or new people that you're with, especially new boyfriends, anything like that, girlfriends, or whatever. Okay? So this is how you would address them. You would say, I need alone time after work to decompress. Can you schedule our calls for a later time in the evening? And then they will say whatever they say. If they don't respect that, that's a red flag. Okay? Take that into consideration. Because why shouldn't they understand that? Why wouldn't they understand that? You do need time to decompress after you get off from work. If you are at work and they calling you all day at work, that's already a problem unless you are flexible in that area and they can do that. That's fine. But you get home from work and you're like, man, I just want at least 2 hours to just chill out before I get on the phone talking to him. You might want to insert that in the information to him, all right? Letting him know when she get off from work, the first 2 hours, she don't want to be bothered. All right. Here's another one. Emotional boundaries. This is you. I feel overwhelmed when discussing certain topics. Can we take a break and revisit this conversation later? Let's say the person you're with is talking about something that you're uncomfortable with. Let's say he's asking you something about your past, or he's talking about something that is a trigger or whatever. And you might be like, oh my goodness, I really don't want to talk about this. How can I tell them I don't? That's what you would say. I feel overwhelmed. Let them know when discussing this topic. Not saying I don't want to talk about it, but can we do this another time when I am capable of talking about this? When I have more energy in my mind together on this situation? And then if they don't respect that, that's another red flag. You got to understand all this. If they don't respect, it's a red flag. You got to be real king and use your ability to discern, and what we call intuition, to understand that you have to definitely understand this could be a red flag. They should respect this. All right. Let's talk about physical boundaries. This is you. I am comfortable with holding hands, but not with public display of affection. Can we keep it private? So if you're the type of person that you don't like public display of all the hand holding, kissing, whatever, then you let them know, hey, can we not do this in public? I'm not trying to be a jerk. It's not that I'm trying to keep you a secret. It's just, I'm just not comfortable, okay? In the public. Let me build myself to get there, all right? And if they're like, well, I love public display, I love to be showing off my woman, then okay, I get that, but I'm just not that person. So I need you to respect that about me. I get you love to do this, but respect me, okay? And if they don't, that's a red flag. Don't let them cross that boundary, because that's a physical situation. And I'm going to tell you right now, if they cross that boundary, they're going to cross other boundaries in your physical boundary area. And you're going to be hoping you would have set them straight from the beginning. This is how they end up becoming abusive physically to you, and even to a point where you getting touched and groped like you are being raped, and you don't want that. So you have to let it be known up front, all right? So if they don't know how to respect their boundaries, something's wrong with them. And I personally would say that is not a relationship to have. Okay, then social boundaries. This is you. I value my time with friends and family. Can we make sure to balance our time together and apart? All right? If you are family oriented and you want your time with your family and your friends, and you don't want to always have to include your boyfriend into it or your girlfriend into it, let them know up front. Hey, I value this. I'm a family oriented person. This is who I am. I can't change this about myself, and I'm not going to let you do it either. So what you need to understand is that we're going to have our time together, but we're also going to have our time apart from each other. Respect the time that we're not together and that I'm with my loved ones. It has nothing against you, but for me, this is how I stay whole. And if they don't respect that, I'm going to tell you now, they're usually trying to figure out a way to isolate you from them. And when you see that, you might want to end that relationship very fast. And then you have digital boundaries. Now we have to talk about digital, all right? This is you. I prefer to keep my phone and social media use private. Let's respect each other's digital space. Basically, you're telling them, don't be all on my social media, all in my stuff, and then have the nerves to talk about it because you see something you don't like. If you don't like it, don't go on it. Leave it alone. Don't be digging for stuff. And I would do the same for you. All right? And then let's talk about reinforcing boundaries. So this is how you reinforce your boundaries. You want to stay firm. Politely but firmly remind your partner of your boundaries if they are crossed. They need to know they crossed that boundary. You want to reassess regularly. You want to periodically, I can't get that word right, review and discuss boundaries to ensure they are still relevant and respected. Use positive reinforcement. Acknowledge and appreciate when your partner respects your boundaries. So if you notice that they are respecting your boundaries, tell them. I love it that you don't be all in my social media trying to find stuff. That makes me feel good about you. And I definitely respect that you have your personal space and then you're respecting mine. I love the fact that you're not trying to be all over me in public and you're respecting my decision on that part. Give them that reassurance. And then they will even be like, okay, she noticed. I like that. So by implementing these techniques, you can establish and maintain healthy boundaries in a new relationship, promoting mutual respect and a strong, balanced connection. So that's in today's lesson. Tomorrow is day 3 of week 10. We're going to talk about assertiveness training tomorrow. So I'm going to teach you about how to be assertive. Now we're at that point.
Are you feeling overwhelmed and exhausted by stress? Introducing Stress Management with Imaging Coaching, your ticket to a calmer, more balanced life. In this journey you will be taking with us here at Imaging Coaching, we'll equip you with powerful techniques and tools you can use to conquer stress, control, and transform your life. From deep breathing exercises to mindfulness practices, you'll discover the tools to relax your mind and body. Come join us on this transformative path and unlock a world of inner peace and resilience. Don't let stress hold you back any longer. Take charge of your well-being today with Imaging Coaching, your stress management team. Discover clarity. Defeat stress through Imaging Coaching at imagingcoaching.com, at imagingcoaching.com, at imagingcoaching.com, at imagingcoaching.com.